Hi, John. How are you?
Hey, Jenna, how are you?
Good, good. Can you please give a quick introduction into who you are and what you do?
Sure. I've been in the financial services industry for probably about over 20 years. I've headed up marketing teams and formulated marketing teams, and primarily am a strategist for those institutions. Those institutions ranged from international to local, and all the ones in between from regional and national as well.
Great, great. Where were you in your situation when you came to work with M Studio, and why did you feel it was a good fit?
Well, I ended up in a rather unique situation, having gone from a national organization to a local financial institution. And I had always worked primarily with fairly large ad agencies that did work with national accounts and international type of accounts. And as I had gotten to this local institution along that really focused on the Jersey Shore region, and understanding that there was a new approach that was needed. I couldn't bring in some of these big agencies, which didn't really understand the area, because I think the focus for us was to really find an agency that would capture the spirit of this region, and knowing this region and now living in this region, really know how entrenched and proud uh, locals are to the Jersey Shore. So really how we came about to finding M Studio was really through that path of finding an agency that really would be able to reflect what we were trying to accomplish by creating a rebranded institution.
Great, thanks. Yeah, it was fun to take what we know so well and utilize it in regards to like marketing a brand. We haven't had that many opportunities to do that, but it was nice to reflect back on the community and how to like use that in a way, or not exploit it, but use it in a way to market a company to the local community without it being, I guess I should say, cheesy. So
Yeah, yeah, no. Well, but that
yeah,
was the fun part.
it was the fun part. Have Did you enjoy your experience working with M Studio?
Of course. I mean, I think one of the things that we, particularly with most everybody at M Studio being from the region, and me having some knowledge of spending a lot of time here and now living here, it really is trying to capture, you all captured those nuances of, what an outsider of the region is and what an insider of the region is, and how to have fun around it. And I think one of the things that we wanted to do was to make sure that we had fun with it, but being respectfully fun, and how it would benefit, because we are in a rather serious business, financial services business, and we are working and dealing with people's dollars and monies and loans and things like that. But it doesn't mean we can't have fun working with an agency that understands creating that balance around that.
Great. Um, I know we executed a lot of initiatives for the company, but what was the biggest aha moment you had working together?
There were, as we had gone through several conversations, I think one of the difficult aspects is, how do you balance uh, creating interest with fun, and having kind of a something you could laugh at, but truly understand. And I think there were a couple of campaigns, even when we were talking about doing these billboards and what they would look like, and particular times of the year, because being down in the shore region, it is not the locals' summer until you hit September. But we had conversations around, or you all had brought up instances how to capture that on billboards and other collateral that we would put out. And that was where I understood, it's like, wow, yeah, we can really do something with this. And I think in one other instance with a former financial institution I was with, we had, we had that aha moment when we had done that campaign that really hit home for what the institution was looking to do and what the institution was going to create. And this was kind of that same instance to do that. So a lot of, it's good when you're having fun creating a campaign and not just dredging along on that campaign. It's like you can't wait to see what happens next and what we come up with next.
Yeah, that definitely yields the successful results when like people are engaged and excited about the work. And we definitely had that in our relationship working with you and your team. It was always exciting to see what was next, and obviously the results that the work garnered is so important to us. Doing creative work and being creative and getting people's attention, but at the end of the day, we want results, right? So
right.
Kind of takes me into my next question. Like, what kind of results have you seen with the work we implemented in regards to the thinking we brought and the strategies that we brought to the table?
Well, I think the most important thing in really developing the brand is developing an identity. And by developing that identity, I think the result is not only from getting employees pumped up for being part of that, and it really hits home for them to not only feel proud of the institution and the direction it's going in, but also going out there and saying that to people and being excited to it. And for the people we reach out to and customers or members, as we call them, to embrace that. And it makes it really feel that this is their financial institution, this is their employer, and everybody is feeling as though this is who we are, they represent who we are. I think that's part of the biggest success that we see, because that becomes sustainable. It's not just a one and done, and it really helped us target those individuals that would resonate with. So that was an important piece for us, was really have people really be able to touch it and feel it and understand, that's who I am. I'm not the person, crossing the bridge. I'm the person who lives here, and the institution represents who I am.
Nice. That's great. How has this changed the way, working with M Studio and the way we execute projects? I know you have experience with other agencies, but how has this changed the way you look at business moving forward?
Well, I think that the important part of it is really helping businesses understand who they are, what's their culture, who do they want to be. You can't be something to everyone. You want to be representative of who you are. And I think that going through an exercise like this really is important, because until you can identify that to not only yourself and to your employees, you won't be able to identify that to your end user or your end customer. So that this type of exercise is really important to create that identity. And I think that, it doesn't mean it can't be fun either. You can have fun. If you can't have fun doing it, then what's the point? At the end of the day, and if you're having fun doing it and it could put a smile on your face and could put a smile on everybody else's face, that means you're doing something right. And I think that that's one of the things that M Studio has been clearly understands doing that. So, I don't know how much I could elaborate on that, but I think it's a pretty simple formula, but you just have to keep that in your head as an organization and make sure everybody understands that.
Great. Thanks so much, John. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we close out our session today?
Well, I would have loved to have done more with you guys. Having moved on to now an international company, and everything had already been set, I would have loved to have seen it go on further and take it further, because I think it would have been such a powerful direction. And I will say this direction we were going into was really tied for first place with the other one I had always talked about with you guys, that would have loved to have seen it through further with you guys, but
Yes, us too.
maybe next time.
next go around.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, thank you so much for your time today, John. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jenna.
Mhm.